There's too many men. There's too many dinos making too many problems. Down. And there's not much prone to go around. Can't you see this is Fiery Discourse?
Huh.
That was worth it. I flubbed up a line, but I don't care. That was worth it.
It's okay. Let's hope we don't get copyright struck for that.
All good.
But anyway, yeah. Welcome to Fiery Discourse, your podcast and media featuring dragonesses, female dinosaurs, and other similar saurians and scalies. I'm your host, Ludmillanon, and with me are my co-hosts, Angron, Mathmachine, the Shark, and Stryker. Today is our 127th episode, and is our first Jurassic July episode for 225. And this episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be talking about 3 music videos. So, let's get things started. Math, go ahead.
It's time to open the door and get on the floor because we're about to talk about dinosaur music videos.
Perfect. If only we could have talked about that video, but sadly, no dinosaurs in that aside from a clip from a Daffy Duck cartoon, and that dinosaur is male. So, can't talk about walking the dinosaur, though that would have been awesome.
Yep.
So,
and also, Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark. All the dinosaurs are
wild.
Yep.
Ready for that?
Yeah, I am butchering the tune hard right now, but I don't care.
It's okay.
Well,
It's
you're
all
butchering, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
So yeah, like I say, so this episode is going to be about like 3 different music videos in that. We're going to be talking about Weird Al's Jurassic Park. We're going to talk about Genesis's Land of Confusion. We're going to talk about Dais's Dinosaur Adventure. And yeah, pretty much think of this as like a pop-up video, but with less pop-up facts and more about basically babbling about dinosaurs. So if you're into that, well, welcome to this episode. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Weird Al's Jurassic Park. The song is a spoof of MacArthur Park, which was famously sung by none other than Richard Harris. And basically, Weird Al's version, Jurassic Park, was made in 1993 and came out actually slightly after the movie, which is pretty interesting. So he's able to get it pretty accurately. And this music video is actually done in like stop motion and was directed by none other than Mark Osborne, who would later be a director of 2 of the most amazing things possible. He directed both the Patchy the Pirate segments on SpongeBob SquarePants and, more awesomely, the original Kung Fu Panda.
Whoa.
That is interesting.
Yep. So, basically, this video was a very good experience for when he did the When Worlds Collide video of SpongeBob BC. Sadly, we didn't get to see KV the Caveman and the robot rap in this song, but...
Oh my gosh.
What could have been... Matt, go ahead.
What's interesting to me is that even though this is done by Mark Osborne, it very much is imitating the California Raisins style of claymation.
Yep, Will Vinton style, exactly. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was imitating a famous stop-motion artist who I knew the name of. I just couldn't remember it. But thank you, Matt, for bringing up Will Vinton, because... yeah, that very much is Will Vinton's. That looks like Will Vinton's trademark claymation style, and it also kind of looks like another video that Ninja Sex Party would make a little later, in the vein of one I don't know what we're talking about. If you know the song, then congrats.
Yep. So basically, we'll get to the actual Jurassic Park video now. So the video basically begins with a researcher finding a mosquito stuck in amber, with the mosquito having a silly expression on its face. And one thing to mention right away, this video, like a lot of Weird Al Yankovic style of humor, there was a lot of like airplane style of background gags. And I'm sorry, I am always a sucker for those kind of gags. They make me laugh in anything, any single time. And here we have some great ones. We have like one of the dinosaur eggs is being painted like an Easter egg, and there's a bag of Dino Chow in the background are a few examples. And like I say, there really is a lot of great gags in this. And we get to see a scientist look inside of a microscope to see Mr. DNA taking a shower. He sees them and he screams and closes the shower curtain in a really good gag. Go ahead, Matt.
Airplane style jokes. Shirley, you jest. No, I don't. Don't call me Shirley.
Nice.
Perfect. Shark?
If you find a way to clone dinosaurs, you'll be greatly rewarded. Behold! And it's Mr. DNA showering.
Perfect.
Nice. You had to make that joke.
See?
Amazing. But yeah. Meanwhile, we then cut to Al saying about how he's being chased by some irate velociraptors and how this has been one lousy day. And that's one thing I just wanted to get on a little bit of a tangent. One of the great things that Al does is underselling like serious situations. He does that in so many songs, and it's always hilarious when he does that. But
Yes.
basically, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he just treats every major situation in his own zany, laid-back way. Like it's just, oh, hey, the end of the world is like, oh, well, that's just very inconvenient. I was going to go get a spare accordion today. It's not like I don't have 1,000 already, but you never know. 1,000 to 1 can't hurt.
Exactly. But what happens is in the swiftly control room sequence, the Velociraptor bangs against the door, instead pulls out a ring of keys and begins going through them in order to unlock the door. And in case you're wondering why we're doing this video, as mentioned in our Jurassic Park video more than 2 years ago now, wow, all the dinosaurs are female in Jurassic Park. So that sticks with this one too. That's why we're covering it. Go ahead, Angron.
Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark. All the dinosaurs are running wild. Nailed it.
Exactly.
First try.
Exactly.
First try.
There's a really cute blink and you miss it gag too in the shot of all the dinosaurs running around. There's actually a chicken running around in the shot, like really way in the background. It's one of those things you really have to stop and look for, but man, it is funny. We get to see a caricature of Dennis Nedry shutting off the fence as a dinosaur tests it. Al then sings about this, proving his chaos theory, which means that I guess in this universe, Weird Al is Ian Malcolm, but I have to dock points because Weird Al, you did not do the Ian Malcolm laugh. I mean, you could have tried a little bit.
Yeah, you could have tried, but coming back to the freaking shutting down the power moment. Honestly, if that honestly, it would have been better if that switch said transdipulator.
Transdipulator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta get one in.
Yep, had to get one in. Yeah, we can't make we can't do a Wayne Knight reference without making a Wayne Knight joke.
Of course.
It's been a while since we referenced that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
not true.
But anyway, what happens is a few dinosaurs running by doing gags. Like one of them is in a tutu, another one is in a lampshade and sunglasses. John Hammond then gets stepped on by a brontosaurus, but then looks at the camera with a disgusted expression. Which, like I say, this video definitely is again really, really Weird Al style of satirical humor here.
Oh my gosh! I see that. And I am reminded of that one scene from the SpongeBob movie where SpongeBob thinks he stepped on plankton, but he thought he stepped on something else, and he just scraped plankton on the ground.
Nice.
That honestly would have been funny if the dinosaur was like, "Oh, I think I stepped on something," and just scraped John Hammond on the ground, and John Hammond's like, "Not on something, on someone."
Nice.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, easily. But we then cut to Al basically stamping a no sign on the Jurassic Park logo, singing that I cannot approve of this attraction because getting disemboweled sort of makes me kind of mad. And he shows that he has indeed been disemboweled, and just the casual way he sings it is so funny. But of course,
the guy gets bitten, and he's just like, "Wow, this just makes me peeved." Like,
exactly. But what happens next is the lights go out as various eyes all appear near his own, causing him to use a match. It turns out he's surrounded by dinosaurs, one of whom uses her hand to extinguish the match. And I guess Weird Al now gets the same treatment that Benny got from the Mummy. So
nice.
Yep. But what happens is we then cut to a spoof of Gennaro's death as Rexy eats him, then uses a napkin to wipe her mouth and floss some teeth as well as drinking a cup of tea. Obviously, she's related to both the dinosaur from both Crypto the Superdog and the one from Zowlin Showdown.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
So basically, I also love the joke that with the lyric, it's one of those like double thing jokes that says that a huge Tyrannosaurus ate a lawyer. That proves they're not all bad. And it's like, it's so silly, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Great
works so much.
Easily does. So, but what happens, we then cut back to the gates when one of the torches is extinguished in the rain and a live action hand reaches out with a lighter to fix the shot. We then see.
I
Yep,
still love
and-
that joke.
Same. Fourth wall jokes like that, always perfect. And
Yes.
we then get another joke that I think might seem a little dated today, but back then probably made a lot more sense. We see all the dinosaurs running around again as Arnold Schwarzenegger shows up, only to be sliced to pieces by them. And there's actually a reference to how Arnold's movie Last Action Hero completely bombed at the box office because it was released at the exact same time as Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well, that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, they released Jurassic Park and Last Action Hero, and turns out more people wanted to see dinosaurs than wanted to see Arnold, basically, so I guess that happened. Rexy
No,
then-
it's another Arnold movie.
Yeah.
Who wants to see another one when there's a
Yeah.
completely original one opening the same weekend?
Yep.
Yeah.
And also
It's
female
not-
dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. It's not terrible, but it's not like, it's not one of his best. He has better movies, let's put it that way. But anyway,
Yeah.
Rexy then shows up, dressed as a wrestler, and body slams herself against a brontosaurus, to which I have to say, gee, why can't Jurassic World Rebirth have wrestling women dinosaurs, you know?
I would pay to see that. I would pay to see a series about female
Same,
dinosaur
same.
wrestlers.
Would have been way better. And of course, since it is a 90s property, they had to make fun of Barney the dinosaur with his head getting bitten off by a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yep,
It
well,
was-
it is the 90s, so it was going to happen sooner or later. Go ahead, Shark.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised with us when I saw this moment, not because Barney gets killed, because I had already seen this GIF before, and I could have sworn this was a Robot Chicken sketch, but no, it was way older than that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dinosaurs
Also,
and-
sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
Okay. I love you. You love me. This chick disemboweled me.
Nice.
I had to do
But
it.
anyway, yeah, I figured. But anyway, Al is then cornered by Rexy, wearing a napkin and holding a knife and fork, before she just throws it away and eats him. As Al then slides basically down the dinosaur's throat, we then change animation styles to a 2D style. At first it is Rexy dancing in front of the Jurassic Park logo, then changes to 60s psychedelia, then an art style spoofing Yellow Submarine, of course the famous Beatles movie, then Art Deco, and then Cubism. And yeah, I really like that you did this art style shift. It really looks pretty cool. Go ahead, Shark.
I can just imagine the dinosaur seeing all of this and being like, oh, what was in that weird owl?
Yes.
Perfect. Go ahead,
Matt.
Matt.
So for as much as I like the claymation, the 2D stuff is my favorite part in this. It looks wild, and all I could think as I'm watching this is the guy who made the music video for Dare to Be Stupid, you say? Huh, that's what we
Jeez,
got.
I can believe it.
Huh.
Also,
Wait.
you think that's wild? You have yet to see wild, my friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
easily.
yeah.
Definitely. But one thing I want to point out too is, so did Mark Osborne work on Dare to Be Stupid? Because if he did, that would have been amazing.
No, I mean the Weird
Oh,
Al.
a Weird
has
Al
done
video.
both
Yeah.
Dare to Be Stupid.
I understand. Yeah, Dare to Be Stupid is great video. Probably, honestly, I think that might be my favorite Al song, but we'll talk about more Weird Al, I guess, another time. But getting back to this, as Al continues to fall, we then get back to the stop motion as we see a shot of two dinosaurs dancing in cages, then Rexy dancing to the camera instead, including her, shall we say, kind of doing almost like a proto twerking style move, which also comes into play later, which interesting there. Go ahead, Angron.
Let's not beat her on a bus. We absolutely get to see her cloacal hole. I'll just put it that way.
Yep, exactly. And we then cut back to stop motion as we see a guy travel between two dinosaurs as they eat him. And yeah, so this movie is basically spoofing Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park took something from this movie because never forget, Eddie's death from Lost World Jurassic Park basically is just this. Him getting torn apart by the two Tyrannosauruses. It literally is the exact same thing as this shot. And it's like, wow, did Spielberg see this?
Probably did.
Yep. We then come back to more of a 2D Rexy dancing before she turns into a dinosaur that looks like Dino from Flintstones, which is probably funny for two reasons. Number one, because of course, Granddad! And number two, more importantly, Weird Al has a Flintstones parody song on the same exact album. Bedrock Anthem, which is a parody of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and used actual clips of the Flintstones in that, and it's a pretty funny song,
Yep.
Yep, so kind of interesting, kind of tied into it there. Al eventually lands in Rexy's stomach, where an employee tries selling an "I was eaten at Jurassic Park" shirt, which is a really, really funny joke. We then cut to Rexy as she roars. We then cut to Steven Spielberg watching her in a director's chair. He then pulls out a Looney Tunes style sign that reads "cut" and runs off screen. And apparently, originally Spielberg was going to be crushed, but because he apparently was such a good sport about letting Weird Al use Jurassic Park for his parody, Al decided to spare him. Now, if he had known that Spielberg had denied Barnes & Barnes for using E.T. in their parody, things might have gone a little differently, because, let's just say, Barnes & Barnes' E.T. parody is a lot more, shall we say, adult than Weird Al's Jurassic Park parody, and look it up on your own time, but yeah.
Irony, considering who the main movies were aimed at.
True, exactly.
Indeed.
We then come back to the gates as a Dino-gizer bunny appears, and again, this is something that, I guess for me, we never had those commercials here with the Energizer Rabbit. I only know it from stuff like Hot Shots and, Naked Gun and stuff where it appeared, and I'm like, okay, what is this thing, Because they never had the commercials here because, the Duracell Rabbit was still copyrighted over here, so they couldn't use the commercials. It's something interesting, I guess. But we then cut to a dinosaur basically covering a human in salt before biting him in half. A T-Rex is choking as a Brontosaurus gives her the Heimlich, causing her basically to cough out, biting the dinosaur's severed head, which, yeah. As Al sings that he's never coming back this way again, a stage opens up revealing a trio of dinosaurs all doing a kick dance, and this too reminded me of the SpongeBob episode, The Inmates of Summer, with the Together song. Together, 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 together. And Patrick playing the drums and playing the synthesizer in that classic. But Al runs off screen and this probably, honestly, this is such a stupid, subtle joke, but it's such my favorite gag of the video is the dinosaurs are actually playing the musical accompaniment. They're all playing the trumpets and saxophones and that. That is funny. I'm sorry. That is so that is my style of humor, Yeah. They tied it into that. But basically, Al runs into the helicopter. Two dinosaurs wave goodbye and hold a "Don't forget to write" sign as the helicopter flies off. And basically, the video ends with a spoof of the Jurassic Park ending as Rexy appears and eats the helicopter, then belches and basically grins on the screen as it irises out. And man, what a funny video. One of Al's best,
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely was a trip and a half, and while it's not my favorite video of the bunch, we'll get to that later, I definitely enjoyed watching this. It oozes charm, comedy, I really appreciate the Will Vinton stop-motion style a lot. I'm a sucker for a lot of 80s, 90s, and 2000s styles, hence why I really love Crypto Superdog a lot. But yeah, this is definitely why I, above all else, love and appreciate Weird Al Yankovic as a person. He knows his material, and he is, and if the studios are willing to play along with his antics, then A+. Otherwise, he'll just do whatever he can with an accordion and a banana in his mouth. I don't know.
Oh, Al is great. He's a legend. He's a legend. He's still a legend. It's just one thing. It's such a shame he was assassinated at the Grammys after performing Amish Paradise. Pablo Escobar and his men really went too far there. They really did.
You had to go there.
I'm sorry. If you haven't seen the Weird Al quote-unquote biopic, watch it. It is hilarious. It is so good.
I love it. Yeah, I really like they got Jack Black and a bunch of other people for that. It was great.
Cameos, yeah. And Daniel Radcliffe actually does a really good job as Weird Al Yankovic, as like a a satirical version of him. It actually is a really, really great movie. And
You want to
like I
get
said, Al's
someone
a
to,
legend.
you want to get someone loony? You want to impersonate someone loony? Get someone loony.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what happens next is that we then basically is Al's a legend. He's still a legend. We're really glad he's still around that. So
Yes.
yeah, basically, we're not going to talk about the second video, which is going to be a lot, shall we say, different.
Grosser.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about. Before we talk about that, go ahead, Shark.
You think Weird Al is crazy? Things are about to get crazy.
Oh yes, people. Go ahead, Angron.
If Weird Al was shrooms, freaking Genesis was an acid trip compared to that. You'll see why in a moment.
Yeah, easily. And yeah, basically, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
The only way that I can accurately describe the transition we're about to go into is this is the kind of weird that you would think of when you're sober. We're about to enter completely high off your ass mode.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Because we are going to talk about Genesis's, forgive me for that pronunciation, Land of Confusion. And here we go, folks. You guys strap in because this one's going to get crazy.
Not sponsored by Sega.
Yep. Basically, this video was done by Fluck and Law, who are the creators of Spitting Image. Now, Spitting Image was an extremely popular British television show that used really grotesque puppets to satirize society. Basically, no one was off limits. They were basically controversial right out of the gate because they were the first to make fun of the British royal family in ways that had never really been done before. And Spitting Image was huge. There were versions of it all over Europe, including Spain. I think it was called Las Noticias de Guion-Gor or something like that. It was just as satirical and biting. And I think there was a version in the US called like DC Follies or Washington Follies in that. And basically it tried doing the same thing, but it didn't have as much bite, I think. But regardless, the best way to describe, I think, the Spitting Image puppets is impressively grotesque. They're supposed to be hideous caricatures of people. Like the most hideous, deformed, grotesque characters you can think of somebody. That's pretty much what they were. And yeah, go ahead, Angron.
I think they did their job too well in this video. But yeah, on the topic of realistic puppets, this isn't exactly something that is all that new or, for that matter, groundbreaking. Stuff like Stingray in the 1960s were the ones to do stuff like this. And a little later, in like the mid to late 90s, Peter Jackson would do this sort of thing with the Feebles, which, yeah, they're definitely realistic, that's for sure, though not to the extent that Spitting Image or this video go to. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Yeah, but actually, I think Spitting Image actually predates Feeble. Spitting Image is like, what, 1984, I think, so it predates it. But basically, yeah, Spitting Image, basically this video is a political satire against Ronald Reagan, and yeah, it's really something, and we're going to get into it. One thing that is interesting is that Phil Collins actually already had a Spitting Image puppet. He didn't like the one they had on the show, and had him make a newer, uglier one for the video. So he saw it, and it's like, oh, that ain't me, it ain't ugly enough. Make it uglier.
Okay, there's being on board, and then there's that, buddy. Like, mad prompt for going the extra mile, but did you really have to?
Yeah. One of the many reasons Phil Collins is awesome. We have that. We have the In the Air Tonight drum solo. We have Susu Studio, and we have pretty much the entire Tarzan soundtrack. Those four things alone, I don't see how anyone could hate Phil Collins after
I am
all
so
of this.
glad I
And
grew
Brother
up
Bear.
with him.
Yeah, he's a legend. I'll go with Shark.
Shark.
Well, if he wants to be uglier, he just needs to eat some of the SpongeBob Special Sunday.
Nice.
Perfect. So basically, the video starts with it being 4:30 in the afternoon as Ronald Reagan, Nancy Reagan, and Bonzo the monkey prepare to go to bed. The monkey, Bonzo, is reference to a Ronald Reagan movie called Bedtime for Bonzo, where he plays like a university professor who has to babysit a monkey. It's really, really, really stupid, and yeah, it's a really bad, stupid movie, and it pretty much tells you why Ronald Reagan quit acting and got into politics, if that's the kind of stuff he had to deal with. But basically, Reagan then kisses Bonzo and goes to sleep, as the video basically takes place inside of Reagan's nightmares. We then see both a cross of both marching figures and the puppet versions of Genesis playing with the band, as Mike Rutherford's The Guitarist's guitar has 4 necks on it. Kind of like the Weird Al video, this also has a lot of blink and you miss it background gags, and there are quite a lot in this one as well.
Oh, many.
So we'll definitely try to point out a lot of them in any case, but basically, a gate slowly opens up as it reveals a jungle landscape full of severed heads while continuously cutting to the marching figure. We then cut to the puppet version of Phil Collins singing as we cut back from him and the band to the figure picking up various heads. When Phil sings, "But I can see the fire still light," forgive me for I'm trying not to get this video hopefully not too copyright claimed. We see him and the band wearing goggles. Yep. We then cut to another field of heads as Reagan is sweating in his sleep, eventually creating so much sweat that it's like a pool as Nancy tries to wake him up. Oh, go ahead, Angron.
Yeah, that pool of sweat moment, honestly, when I woke up today and thought of that, I was like, oh, that's gross, which, yeah, we warned ahead that this was absolutely going to be a fairly gross, fairly more mature, weird moment, and moments like that are kind of why. Like, in of itself, it makes sense, but like, the gross puppets paired with the fact that there's active sweat and what happens later, it definitely made me want to. It definitely made me want to retch a few times. I didn't, but it was definitely not great.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I can understand why. But basically, what happens, though, is we then see this morning as Nancy and Bonzo wave hello to a bird. Reagan is quite literally drowning in his own sweat as a rubber duck floats by. The bird is eventually attacked by a bomb, turning into a roast chicken. And we then cut back to the dream sequence to see Reagan wake up while a crowd cheers. Reagan basically tries to fit into a Superman costume, but failing as he runs off stumbling. We then see a montage of various dictators, including Mussolini, Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran, Mikhail Gorbachev as gangster, which kind of is funny now when you consider what happened with Gorbachev, that everyone thought, oh, he's this big, evil dictator and that. And it's like, no, he kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
And, yep. We also see Colonel Gaddafi as one of the dictators, as Reagan runs to the streets dressed as Superman. A female Triceratops... Oh, so go ahead. Angron?
Superman, where are you now? Currently in the process of being in a James Gunn movie.
Yeah. Nice,
Had to make
nice.
that joke.
Hey, this video can not only tie into the new Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Rebirth, it could also be our podcast episode for the new Superman movie. So, we got 2 in
maybe.
1. 2 in 1. But, basically, a female Triceratops appears and roars into the screen, which is the reason we're covering this video. We get a visual pun with Colin singing, people are losing control by the hour. We get a visual pun of people holding up various TV remote controls. And we then cut to basically the band playing in that. And one thing that is interesting, because there's 2 Phil Collins puppets here. The main puppet, which is the singer, the older puppet that Phil had replaced, they still used as the drummer Phil. So that's a pretty cute way that they actually were still able to use the original puppet in the video.
It's...
Yep. And also the gag of the keyboardist having snacks hidden in the keyboard is also a really, really cute one. And yeah, I don't know why, the keyboardist always reminded me a little bit of Mick Jagger. I think it may be just the giant lips,
Yeah, maybe.
But Reagan continues to run before the dinosaur trips him, causing Reagan to fall into an armchair as he and the Triceratops watch clips of Spinning Image. Clips includes parodies of Richard Nixon, Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock with a Rubik's Cube, and Bob Hope having to use giant cue cards just to say his catchphrase. So, go ahead, Angron.
Yeah, the only time we can ship Indiana Jones with a literal dinosaur.
Yeah, nice. But Reagan falls asleep as Colin sings that I remember long, long ago, as he cuts to the prehistoric times, a male T-Rex courts the female Triceratops by handing her flowers and turning off the light cord, making the sun disappear. I suppose that's a more safer way of making it disappear than Eddie eating it, so at least there's that. And when Phil sings basically, and the sound of your laughter, we see like a weird looking, kind of proto-mammal type creature putting salt on a dinosaur egg while reading a newspaper dated 1 million BC, which, cute little gag there. Reagan is cuddling with Bonzo, which, get your head out of the gutter, while as a caveman looms over them. We then cut to both of the Reagans eating the remains of the caveman. So, yeah, we can pretty much tell what they thought of Ronald Reagan, from just that moment alone. Nancy is startled by the Nancy is startled by the T-Rex again, handing her flowers as well. Reagan gnaws on a bone before Bonzo takes it from him and throws it in the air in a spoof of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Reagan watches as the bone turns into a phone receiver, and we get one shot that really, I imagine if I was like a kid in like 1986 and watching this, I would have been freaked out at this because it's the shot of Reagan's face like basically coming out of water and basically staring right into the camera. It is legitimately scary stuff, It's like, that's the one shot that I'm like, okay, yeah, you definitely went above and beyond here. Go ahead, Angron.
Yeah, for me, this is less scary and more honestly kind of disgusting. Because, again, pool of sweat, gross puppets, makes me kind of want to retch, which I kind of am as of speaking this, which, yikes.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Matt.
All the stuff we have seen in this video up to this point just makes me want to go up to the creators of this music video and the series as a whole, ask them what drugs they took so I know what to avoid for the rest of my life.
Good call.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, what happens is next is we then cut to basically the bone turns to the receiver again. Collins catches the phone and begins singing to the receiver. Next to him is none other than Prince, who basically plays his guitar while putting ketchup, mustard, and a bun on his own tongue and eats it, which is a set of notes I never thought I would have had to make in this podcast when I started it. That, oh yeah, we get to see Prince eating his own tongue.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. In between the lyrics, we have scenes of Tina Turner, Madonna, and Grace Jones being startled in their dressing room. Pete Townsend giving a thumbs up when Colin sings the words "My Generation," which, pretty good gag right there. And David Bowie and Mick Jagger getting hit by the bone from earlier. And the Bowie and Jagger joke is really funny because this is right around the time they did their Dancing in the Street song, which, if you haven't seen that video, is it's an experience. Let's put it that way. It's very, very interesting. Yeah. But we then cut back to the field of heads again, intercut with shots of the band playing. We then see a faraway shot of a live-action person standing in the field of heads, which I think is supposed to be Reagan, but it's not exactly made clear. And this is probably the worst effect of the video in that you can tell this guy was like a chroma keyed into this shot because they left in the green screen outline a little bit. Like you can actually see when the guy moves around and turns his head and turns his body. You can actually kind of tell that, It really, really is, it's very, very noticeable.
Yep.
But regardless, Reagan is now riding the Triceratops, basically like a horse, because of his cowboy personality, which, was one of the things he was, dinged for constantly. We then have another pan through the field of heads, then cut to three figures, including Margaret Thatcher speaking to the camera. It's interesting because Thatcher was the biggest target of spitting image because they were a British television show, first and foremost. They made fun of Thatcher, in ways you would never believe. They depicted her as, a Caligula-type figure. They depicted her as, Lucifer and that. Infamously, probably the best-known spitting image Thatcher sketch was one where basically she's at the restaurant and she says, "Oh, I'll have a steak." And then the waitress she's there with her cabinet, and the waitress goes, "Oh, what will the vegetables have?" And she turns to her cabinet and says, "They'll have the same as me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, that's what they thought. They really did not like Maggie Thatcher either. But regardless, we then come back to the band singing. then a literal interpretation of the lyrics, "These are the hands we give them," which does kind of look a little bit creepy as well. It's like a tiny baby hands inside of an adult's hands, which definitely has kind of a weird look to it. But we then cut to a group of hundreds of celebrities, including like the British royal family, Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, basically Elton John, Mr. T, Tina Turner, Madonna with a mouth in her navel. And yeah, Madonna puppet is probably the freakiest one, to be honest, just because, wow, I do not know if they liked Madonna, because, yeah, that is not a good look for her, especially 80s Madonna. And the Pope playing an electric guitar as they're all basically singing the chorus in a spoof of like 80s charity singles, like, you know, We Are the World and Band-Aid and all that. Oh, go ahead, Angron.
Yeah, like we said, acid trip. It gets crazy fast. Like, good lord.
Exactly.
There is just so much going on. The dinosaur, the couch, and frickin' Reagan sitting next to her. That's the tamest example of what pretty much goes on throughout the entire frickin' video. It was crazy.
Exactly. And there's so many celebrities in this section, I can't name them all nor identify them all. I will say this, there was one I identified, which I had actually pause and slow it down to make sure I saw it right. For some reason, one of the celebrities singing in the end section is a puppet of all characters, Popeye the Sailor. Yeah,
Okay.
like in a bunch of like these 80s celebrities and like, you know, political figures and like, you know, royal family that there's just Popeye. Like, I don't know why. It's like, do they just have the puppet of Popeye the Sailor on hand and like, nah, we can stick him in. It's fine.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a man over there. Maybe I can hop in here. Maybe join Reagan. Maybe Madonna. Blow me down! What was I on? Ugh, really should check the expiration day on them spinach cans.
No, probably still would have made more sense in his live-action Robin Williams movie. Let's hear it that way. Shark, you were saying?
What?
Sorry, he forgot to delete his thing.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
But Reagan then rides up to the door gate on his Triceratops, dismounts it, not in that way, and knocks on the door. Basically, we then cut to a shot of him staring while the crowd cheers at him, and he finally wakes up. By this time, there's so much water that Nancy needs a snorkel, and so more fun imagery there. Reagan then talks about his terrible dream and takes a drink of water, which, the way they did this is another reference to the movie Airplane, because the way Reagan does it, it's a reference to the drinking problem running gag from Airplane, with Robert Hayes, the pilot, oh, I have a drinking problem, and he splashes water in his face. So that's a pretty good one.
Nice.
Reagan then says that, I can use another one of those, and he reaches her a set of 2 giant red buttons, one with the word nurse on it, and the other one with the word nuke. Of course, he hits the nuke button as a mushroom cloud goes off. The video ends with Reagan basically saying, boy, that's one heck of a nurse, as Nancy bonks him on the head with his snorkel and he laughs right in the camera. Which, so I don't think the people behind Spitting Image were a fan of Ronald Reagan, no. And I'm not saying Reagan was a good guy, because, he was not, but, wow, I don't think Phil Collins is a fan either, come to think of it. But, this was a great video. This is one of those videos that really became iconic of the time period, and it's one of those that you never forget it. Like, one scene, you will never forget this video. And, fun fact, this music video was nominated for the extremely short-lived category of Best Music Video at the Grammys, but it lost. It lost to Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, which is doubly ironic because Peter Gabriel was in Genesis before Phil Collins took over. So they literally lost to their original bandmate. That'd be like if the Beatles lost a Grammy to Pete Best,
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
honestly, though, sorry, continue.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll talk more about Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer in a little bit, maybe later than you expect, but we'll see. But go ahead, Angron, you were saying?
Yeah, honestly, if there was anything that Land of Confusion could have lost to, it was definitely Sledgehammer, because that definitely broke ground, and I very much appreciate it. And like, yeah, that's a little more of an acid trip compared to compared to the Land of Confusion. But you want to know the weirdest thing? That was a video Aardman made. So in short, they lost not only to their former bandmate, but Aardman of all companies. Which props. I mean, these aren't the same people that made the freaking. Wait, no. No, Aardman didn't make freaking the Neverhood series. I completely gypped on that. I was thinking DreamWorks.
Yeah, no, but like I said, the Sledgehammer video, I'm probably going to talk about in a little bit, but yeah, it's one of those things that if you had to lose to a music video, Sledgehammer is the one to lose to, because that video is, well, I'll talk about it in a little while. Let's see what they say. I'll talk about it in just a short bit. But yeah, getting back to this, let's see what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the third and final video this time, which is Dinosaur Adventure by Daisy. Now, yep, this one is from a J-pop band and is basically done in a traditional 2D style. So it's funny. All three videos were animated, but they were all animated in a different style. First one was stop motion. Second one was puppetry. Third one is traditional 2D animation. You know, pretty interesting how that works out. Go ahead, Shark.
Thankfully, even though this is called Dinosaur's Adventure, it is not a Dingo's pictured dinosaur adventure.
Yee.
Yep, it's the one with the G.
Nice.
Had to reference that. But yeah. What's also interesting is that this music video is not the entire song.
I know.
It's very, very interesting. Yeah, this is where the music video we're talking about is only a clip of the song, and I don't know. That to me is kind of weird because it'd be like, imagine if they did that with like Western music videos and that, like Michael Jackson's Thriller. It only ends like halfway through the song, like after like the Vincent Price thing, and then you have to wait before you can get the rest of the song and that, you know?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's honestly the only real gripe that I have with this video. They use like a snippet of Daise's image, which is a great song, and I absolutely recommend everyone go give it a listen. It is soulful. It absolutely fits the tone of this video. But why just that one snippet? You could have absolutely gone the extra mile and made an entire freaking full song video of it, and yet you didn't, which is weird.
Very, very weird. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, they very easily could have done that, but they didn't. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe they just kind of ran out of budget in that. But regardless, I absolutely love the art style of this. The best way to describe it is, I guess kind of like a picture book. Really, it's probably the closest thing I can use to describe it. You know.
Yeah, definitely. It also very much reminds me of The Land Before Time for obvious reasons. But yeah, this art style looks adorable. I love it. It conveys it fits with the theme, matches the tone, and works very well with the music, as brief as it is in this video.
Oh, definitely. So basically, how the video begins with a shot of jungle foliage before we see a mother brontosaurus tend to her eggs. The egg hatches, revealing her baby, which is absolutely the most adorable thing you will ever see. Like, after the Land of Confusion video, this is like a palate cleanser, you know?
Yeah.
Easily. At least this part is. Let's do it this way. And the baby dinosaur basically runs along and chases a butterfly before falling over. The mother picks up her baby and sits it upright. And what's interesting about this animation style, it's kind of done with like movement, but not movement, if it makes sense. It does it with like fades in and fades out for the most part, and it looks really, really good. You know?
Yes, looks great.
It really, really does. But anyway, what happens though is we get the mother then picks up her baby dinosaur and sets it upright in an adorable, adorable way. We then get a time-lapse montage of the two of them walking together as the baby grows up into an adult alongside his mother. And yeah, like I say, this is really, really a beautiful video, you know? It's one of those things that, you know, it gets so much emotion in such a short runtime. this is actually the shortest video we're talking about. This thing is barely like a minute and a half long, you know? And yet it does so much emotion in that time. It is amazing.
Yes.
You know. But what happens, we then see the adult brontosaurus eats leaves. He looks over to see his mother being attacked by raptors. And yeah, like I say, it's like the children's style book art style. It does not pull any punches with the video, you know, like what happens in that, you know? It's one of those things that really, really, like I say, I was not expecting that to happen when I first like saw the video and the thumbnail for this video, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
downright.
Yeah, it's one of those things that definitely is a total shocker in that. But the brontosaurus then runs over and chases them off as his mother looks up at him tearfully. He then lifts up his mother's head, much like how he was lifted up as a baby, and I'm not ashamed to admit, I cried. I cried at this part, you know?
Yeah,
one of those
that
things
was
that,
definitely a tearjerker.
Yeah, it brings tears to the eyes, and it's one of those things that, again, for such a short runtime, it's amazing. This is like big budget animated studios can learn from this music video on how to get so much character across in such a short time. Go ahead, Matt.
Because of the art style and you saying this, it's basically like we went, oh, hey, this is a cute little picture book fairy tale. Oh, no, it's a Grimm's fairy tale book.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, man.
So basically, though, what happens is basically the two of them walk off together. We then zoom up into the foliage again, as we then zoom back down where the brontosaurus is having an egg hatch with a baby of his own. And yeah, I'm sorry. That ending was just like so sweet. Like you know, the whole circle of life thing and circle of like, you know, parents and that. And wow, like really tugs on your heartstrings. Like this video, I am shocked it is not better known because the animation that it really actually does make me annoyed that it's only part of the song. You could have done a video of the whole song, like make this like a 4-minute video. It would have been amazing. Like I feel like the biggest thing holding it back is the runtime. You know, because it really is so short. You get like just like a taste of it. It's like, but I want more. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Exactly. Go ahead, Angron.
Yeah, like seriously, this could have benefited from a full song video. And yet the fact that we got this snippet here pretty much giving us just a taste pretty much shows how impactful it is, not only from that standpoint, but how effective it is as a means to get people invested into listening to Daisuke's music. It's a very adorable tactic, and for better or worse, I honestly think it works. And honestly, more people should do this sort of thing for the most part. Like, actually have art, charm, actual effort put into music videos like this.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely 150%. And yeah, like I say, it's one of those things that, again, it really makes you want to see more of it. And yet they just don't, you know? Well, what a missed opportunity.
Yes.
And yeah, like I say, again, this video was the shortest one, so I probably didn't have much to say about it as like Land of Confusion or Jurassic Park, but it definitely was like a different type of music video. And for me personally, I can't tell which one I liked best because I feel like comparing them to each other is like trying to compare apples and oranges because they all were trying to do different things. Like Weird Al is supposed to be like a wacky, you know, like airplane style spoof, like a popular movie in the zeitgeist. Land of Confusion was like a warped political cartoon from hell that was like, you know, biting down on like Ronald Reagan and not letting go. And this is trying to tell like a simple story of like motherhood and basically like child into adult and that sort of stuff and like parents and like the circle of life. So it's really hard to tell which one is best. Like objectively, like art style, it's hard to tell because I don't know, maybe for you guys it's easy, but for me, it's like it's trying to compare things that shouldn't be compared. It's like saying, oh, what do you like better? You like duck soup? You like Casablanca? Or do you like Friday the 13th better? And it's like, well, they're not the same thing. You can't compare them. It's like apples and oranges to me. But regardless, like I said, they're all really great videos, and I'm so glad we could talk about it. And Yeah, basically in general, that if you guys have any other music videos we could talk about, like dragons or like dragonesses rather, or female dinosaurs, please feel free to tell us because man, we would love to do another one of these because this was so much fun. This was like had so many good things to talk about in that. I'm so glad we were able to do this. And basically this probably was an excuse more to talk about Weird Al Yankovic than anything because let's face it. You can't have a podcast and not do an episode on Weird Al Yankovic at some point in your life.
Definitely.
Yep. But that's going to lead us to the question of the week, which is, what are your favorite music videos? I'm going to start, and I think I have like a couple of favorites. I think my all-time favorite is one that actually we previously talked about just like maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, and that was Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, because like Angron said, this was the first animation ever done by Aardman. And you can tell right away, these guys are going to be big. Like, really, really big. Like, Weird Al's stop motion is great. It's done like the Will Vinton style, and that's great. But, man, Aardman is something else. And this was their first video right out of the gate. And this is absolutely amazing. Like, the effects they did on this is great. And Peter Gabriel basically had to lie against a table and film his parts frame by frame, like the live action parts, to get it just right for the video. And the amount of dedication that went into this is amazing. And fun fact, Nick Park, the creator of Wallace and Gromit, this was his first animation job. He actually animated several scenes, including the dancing roasted chickens.
Nice.
Yeah. And like I say, you could really tell that this video is something special because, again, right away, this is like one of the most iconic music videos probably ever. Like when people think of music videos, they probably think of like Michael Jackson's Beat It. They probably think of like Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. And then they probably think of Sledgehammer. And it's easy to see why because, man, this thing looks great. Like 40 years on, and it still has not aged a second, That is what the amazing part of it is, And like I say, even like the live action portions of it are really, really great, And of course, the song kicks ass. Peter Gabriel is awesome. And what's funny about it is Peter Gabriel tried following up on it several times. He did a video called, how is it, Steam or Steel? Forgive me, kind of going at the top of my head here, where he tried doing the same thing with CGI. It did not work as well. But what did work as well was the video he did for Big Time, which I believe also used Aardman, although don't quote me on that. But it has that same kind of stop motion vibe to it. And unlike Sledgehammer, it has constantly changing styles. And believe it or not, I'm going to say something probably controversial. I think the Big Time video for Peter Gabriel is just as good as Sledgehammer. And yet people sleep on that one so much. So actually kind of changing my answer here. Both of those would probably be my favorite. Both the Sledgehammer and Big Time. Both by Peter Gabriel because the guy's a legend and he still makes great music today. I mean, look at his theme from WALL-E if you haven't seen that, because that alone is awesome. Go ahead, Angron.
Honestly, the thing I remember most from Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer video is the opening where it basically just shows like a petri dish or like something like that of like a person's reproductive system, which what that couldn't possibly tie into the theming of the song. But yeah, I absolutely agree that Peter Gabriel. I'm honestly surprised Peter Gabriel is still going to this day, according to you. But I'm also very glad that he also did something like that giving Aardman their lucky break, making such an amazing song that I still listen to on Spotify to this day.
Oh, definitely. And kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of a Sledgehammer is another one from Phil Collins, the In the Air Tonight video, which famously is just him angrily staring at the camera and occasionally kind of shots of him like looking like forlornly out a window, which is so simple and yet is such a good video too. And of course, the drum solo on that song is half of why it's awesome, but the other half is definitely the shot of like Phil just staring angrily into the camera. And he doesn't even blink, which is amazing. That's another great video. But yeah, my favorites are definitely going to be Big Time and Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel because, wow, they are just so great there. So, Angron, what would your favorite music video be?
going to be a little tricky because there are a lot of music videos that I've seen, a lot of which are pretty good. From Ninja Sex Party's videos, like I Don't Know What We're Talking About, being a little bit
Nice.
of a spoof to the Will Vinton style, as well as occasionally Bohemian Rhapsody and whatnot. If you've heard it and you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. There's also freaking his other video called Save the Earth, which is basically a planetary save the planet music song with just basically Danny Sexbang trying to get together with Alfred's quote unquote mom. But yeah, you'll have to see it to get the context on that. But I think overall for hit music videos that still stay with me to this day, I will absolutely turn to The Living Tombstone because this guy started as an indie developer and to this day has gotten some pretty amazing music videos from from his remix of Epoch by Salvonic to the freaking Hit the Snooze Button, which was made during the time of COVID, which, yeah, that's a mood. But I think my favorite overall is going to have to be the one that was made in, let me see, the living during his during the band's ninth birthday, which is ultimately going to be the Love I Need. Good lordy, if you like video games, you are absolutely gonna love this because the whole thing is done in different styles of video games, from A Link to the Past to Mario World, technically, to Diablo, to Doom, to freaking Angry Birds, and freaking Final Fantasy, the PS1 games. Just this screams so much love in that regard, but it also does it in its own Living Tombstone way. There's just so much to absolutely love about this. It is oozing with charm, oozing with references, and yet it's basically just this one skull warrior guy who is trying to freaking get an extra heart. There's a lot of symbolism going into that I'm not going to get into here, but like, it's pretty amazing. Also, as a little bit of a note, I love the little album cover thing that they do for the Living Tombstone. It's basically giving ode to old NES cartridge packages, and good lordy, I honestly am a sucker for that sort of attention to detail. It's awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do "Love I Need" by the Living Tombstone as my favorite music video.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that guy was a legend. Like I said, he started off as like a My Little Pony fan creator, and he wound up doing like other stuff full time. And yeah, basically. So go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Stryker.
I wanted to point out that Living Tombstone actually did the soundtrack to a horror game. Actually,
yeah, I remember.
Sound Mind.
Yeah, I want to check out that game at some point, but
It is really good. It is really good.
Sweet.
I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, like I say, but like I say though, he really is a legend, and he went on to do, of course, the FNAF music, and his original work is great too. And yeah, he really, really is a legend. You know, he's one of those guys that really, like I say, came out of nowhere, and he's still relevant today, and it's really glad to see that. You know.
Yep.
Great musician right there. That is a really, really fantastic time. So basically, yeah, great choice right there. So let's see, Matt, what would yours be for your favorite music video?
A special shout out to the OG classic originator of the genre as a whole, with ZZ Top. Sharp Dressed Man is incredibly simple music video by any standard, but they basically birthed an entire art form, so kudos to them.
That was an awesome video. Is that the one where the guy from the is that the one where they helped the guy get the girl? Because that is amazing.
Yep, that's the one.
And the guitars spin, because that is so awesome.
Hey, here's our idea for a video. Pool cars, hot women. Go.
Huh. Well, it worked. That's for sure.
But yeah, my actual favorite, it's going to be a Weird Al video because what else could it be? It's actually Trapped in the Drive-Thru. For as insane as Weird Al is, I love that he looked at the Trapped in the Closet songs, went, I can't parody a parody, and tried to make them as mundane and monotonous as possible, and still made them insane. The song is just this guy who is trying to figure out what to do for dinner, goes to a drive-thru, and just the shenanigans that happen all the way till he leaves it. It's 10, almost 11 minutes long. It was animated by a company called Doog Tunes, and I think that he chose the perfect guy. Weird Al always has a knack for finding great internet animators. He's kind of one of the people that keeps that alive in this day and age. And he found a guy that just does very simple, very boring looking people, and that is perfect for this video. The amount of inside gags, the amount of blink and you miss it jokes, the amount of how mundane and boring this is that circles back around into it being hilarious is all great, and he keeps it going for 11 solid minutes. It's incredible.
And which song was this again?
Trapped in the Drive-Thru by Weird Al. It is hilarious. That is one of his best. And yeah, like I said, the mundane aspect of it actually makes it way, way funnier because it's how dramatic it gets. And I mean, it just goes on and on. It escalates, but it's like the most banal thing you can think of. But yet the way it escalates is really amazing.
And it's so quotable too.
Yeah. And he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and he says, sorry, what did you want again? It's just something so stupid. It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, no, that is a great, great choice right there. Like I say, Al really is amazing. And the fact is, he still makes great videos. And like I say, the fact that he actually officially made the famous Albuquerque video into the official Albuquerque video really, really is something else, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I didn't go with Albuquerque is because technically it started as a fan thing that he then made canon. So I wanted to go with one that was canon from the get-go.
Yeah, easily. So basically, that was a great choices right there, you know? Yeah, because Al, again, absolute legend. So let's see. Shark, what would your favorite music video be?
Okay. So what will be one way to make your music or an album stand out? How about we make the music videos an entire animated movie? Anyone here has heard about Instella 555?
Yes! Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Oh man!
Leiji Matsumoto, the legend.
Toy animations cooked. They cooked with Transformers, but they cooked with this even more.
Yeah, here's the really interesting part about this movie. It's composed of the story is composed of several music videos from Daft Punk.
Yeah, yes. That's what it is.
Oh, that was an awesome movie.
Yes.
And
oh man.
Go, Matt.
Oh, it's not just that it's several music videos from Daft Punk. It's all of them. The entire movie is just straight song for song, the album.
Yeah.
And it was made in a way to tell a story just using the songs. No dialogue, nothing, just the songs.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really clever thing to do it. Oh, Angron?
Yeah, okay. If we're going that route, then I really gotta give mention to freaking Animusic. Like, all the songs in there are done by CG robots, and each one is amazing to look at. Like, good lordy, Pogo Sticks and Resonant Chamber are a mood. Also Starship Groove, but yeah, I'm gonna also add that as one of my other picks on top of I Don't Get the Love.
Easily.
Yes, the whole movie is made. There's no intersection. One one song ends, another one starts, and it tells an entire story. And okay, so there's several options here. I could say the whole movie, but if there's one song I really like to listen over and over the others, it's actually the very first one. One more time.
Oh,
One more
yes.
time. Oh
That is
gosh,
so
that one
awesome.
is such an earworm.
Yeah,
It really is great.
it's
And
so
yeah, like I
catchy, and
said-
like it's a really simple lyrics because yeah, they repeat one more time pretty much almost all the time. And yeah, it really works because it's the one you can watch if you don't really watch the entire movie, because that's how the movie starts. So you're not gonna get spoiled by watching that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely gotta rewatch that movie again sometime because man, that is really, really a great one. You know.
I
Yeah.
definitely need to, because I'm a huge fan of Leiji Matsumoto, actually.
Yes, you should absolutely see it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great,
But
great
yeah.
movie. Even
The entire movies are like it's a trip, but not a trip in the same level as Real, but still, it's a really good time. So yeah, I'm gonna go with of all the songs. I'm gonna say my favorite music video in it is One More Time.
Wait.
that is a great, great one right there. Wow, like I love out of the box thinking like that. Like I wouldn't go so far as to say like Yellow Submarine would count for this because it still is a movie with a narrative. It's not just like music videos like this, but for something like that, that 100% counts. You know, because it literally
Yeah.
is like music videos like stitched together to create a narrative. That
Well,
does
that
make
song
sense.
was really creative when it came to its music.
Oh, easily,
Yes.
easily. And like the around the world video with like the different elements of the song all being like dances, that is great. The one with basically the one Get Lucky's great. They're all good really. But no, that is a fantastic, fantastic choice right there. Let's see. Stryker, what would your favorite music video be?
I'm also gonna go a little out of the box.
Go ahead. Be my
Um,
guest.
Anyone here ever heard of the artist Eve?
No.
Not the American artist, the Japanese artist.
I've heard of them actually.
They
Briefly.
did the opening. They did the opening for Jujutsu Kaisen.
Nice. Okay.
I'm going to pick one of his songs actually. As You Like It, or Oki Nemu Sumama.
Okay.
I actually liked it because there's a bit of a hidden meaning behind it.
Oh yeah.
The entire music video is a reference to a one-shot story by Fujiko F. Fujiya, the creator of Doraemon.
Oh.
The story being called The Meeting of the Selves.
Neat.
Awesome.
Basically, it's just it's about the main character moving into a new apartment. He mentions how this apartment reminds him of a dream he had when he was much younger. And as the story goes along, more and more versions of himself start appearing. They're from the future, trying to get him to either go for a deal or go against it. And
I
it
see.
ends with him. It ends with one of them bringing the child version of himself to the future, only for the kid to literally jump out the window and end it.
Wow. Okay. That's
The
quite a way to
ending-
end your video.
Yeah. No. The video is not about that. The video is actually about the main character trying to ask a girl out.
Ooh.
Yeah. And all the while being followed by the future version of himself.
I see.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Uh,
concept for sure.
Wait, sorry, continue. I interrupted.
No, I was saying that it is an interesting subject for sure.
Oh, yes, it is. I just like the all the references to Fujiko F. Fujiya in this music video. And just I love the animation style in it as well as the art style for the music video. In fact, here I'll even post it for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll definitely check it out because that really, really sounds like a lot of fun. It's one of those things that definitely, yeah, it really, really does seem great. Let me check this out.
There we go. That's the right thing.
Yeah, I love that art style already. Just in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, like I say, I love, like I say, the unusual choices like that. Really, really great stuff. So
Definitely.
basically, yep. So now it is time for the patent pending Dragoness Scale on that, and we are going to get to talk about 3 different female dinosaurs this time. The ones from Weird Al's Jurassic Park, the Triceratops from basically Land of Confusion, and the mother dinosaur from Dinosaur Adventure. So that'll be really, really interesting. And so first off, the Weird Al Jurassic Park ones, they're basically the stop motion style, really, really great stuff. I love that they gave them so much character. And again, stop motion is something that is always, always amazing. And it's such a shame with like the advent of CGI that stop motion is like kind of a more niche thing now more than ever. Shame.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's great. The 2D section is amazing too. That's something going to increase the score. And touching on the fact what they're supposed to be. Like it's supposed to be like a comical, almost like, Mad Magazine / like a Zucker Brothers style of humor with like with basically dinosaurs and that. I'm probably going to give them a 9 out of 10. The Weird Al ones, because again, basically, I can't give. I really want to give them a 10, but I don't know. I feel like maybe if they had they are the standouts of it, but I don't know. There's just something about it that kind of puts them away from getting like a perfect score, and I don't know why. Don't feel discouraged because another dinosaur might get a perfect score. Wink, wink. But before that, yeah, the Triceratops and Land of Confusion, she's going to get a 7 out of 10 from me. Because basically what they were trying to do, she's not the main focus. The dinosaurs were probably an afterthought in it, but the fact that she is more predominant than the T-Rex helps, and she is probably the most normal-looking puppet in the entire thing. So that definitely helps, aside from like the monkey. She's the most normal-looking puppet. And yeah, just what they did with her, it was actually pretty good. Like Reagan riding like a dinosaur to satirize like his big, tough, macho cowboy image is also a really, really funny thing. And yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. Now for Daise, basically. The Brontosaurus mother. 10. I can't see how not. I could be like a little stickler and say, oh, she didn't have enough screen time, or oh, she was like, they could have done more with it. But no, I'm sorry. I cannot, in good justice, give her anything less than a perfect score, because for the amount of runtime the video lasted for, I feel like it went pretty well, basically. So, the design is great, the characterization is great, the art style is beautiful. It's heart-wrenching, but it's meant to be heart-wrenching. So, yeah, 10 out of 10 for me on Daise. So, that's going to be my score. Weird Al's Jurassic Park gets 9, Land of Confusion gets 7, and Daise gets a perfect score. So, Angron, what would you give them?
You pretty much mirrored my thoughts exactly on the rankings. The dinosaurs from Weird Al's video are absolutely getting a 9 out of 10 because the stop motion designs kind of hold them back a little bit. Like the satire works, but it can only do so much for me. But that being said, the 2D sections definitely help bump up their score by leaps and bounds for obvious and not so obvious reasons. Yeah, the Land of Confusion video, the dinosaur in that definitely looked great, but she definitely lacked a lot of necessary character for the most part. I get it was supposed to basically be a acid trip and a half, but if you're going to at least give someone a decent amount of character, especially her, then at least go a little bit of the extra mile. Yeah, she basically works with Reagan as a cowboy, sits with him in the couch, may or may not be shipped with him because of that, and
Nice.
She gets courted by a T-Rex, but there's not much that really goes on with that. That and her design is basic. Like, it's a step up from everyone else who is gross, as I said, but yeah, it's not really saying much if her character can't really back it up. So she's not she's not harmful. She gets the point across great. But overall, I am definitely going to have to say 7 out of 10 on that one. But yeah, as for Daisei, 10. Just 10.
Yep.
Like everything you said, I absolutely agree. She is one of the best moms in frickin' media, period. Like looking at her tending to her child, like her child receiving that love, it is that is great. That's definitely a tearjerker, and she is definitely getting a 10 for that reason. No
Easily.
qualms.
Easily. So yeah, like I say, I definitely see where you're coming from there. It's funny that our scores kind of align like that, you know?
Yes. Let's
Yeah,
see if that train keeps going.
Yeah. So let's see. Math, what would your scores be?
Oh, hey, would you look at the time? It's sourpuss o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
So
It's okay.
the Weird Al ones, I'm actually at an 8 rather than a 9.
That's fair.
It's largely because this is a good idea and a bad idea at the same time. They focus on so many different dinosaurs doing so many different gags. That works as a general. It makes the music video itself flow a lot better, but because it sort of drains from each individual representative dinosaur, there's less characterization, if you will. So that brings it down a little bit for me.
For the most part. I see what you're talking about.
Still love the music video, still love the characterization they did present, and the 2D part is easily the best, as I said, so that's why it's still so high. Genesis, look, I appreciate the stylization that they went with for this as a whole. Don't get me wrong. It's went a little bit too hard, in my opinion. Just it is not pleasant to look at. It's one of these things of I get why you chose this group to make your music video for you, and it's one of those cool in concept sort of things. It just does not look good. The more you watch it, the more you do not like it. And I just, for as little as the Triceratops is in it, and because nothing looks good in this, she's just a 5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daisei, now her, I was debating this for a long time, and what finally made me decide was there's a very small detail in this animation. Again, blink and you'll miss it sort of thing. When she is being helped up by her son, you can see wrinkles around her eyes to show the passage of time. So it's not just that they stuck with one style, it's that they actually did make an effort to show that as they have aged, they have grown as well. That is a little detail you did not need in a 1.5-minute music video. It is such a nice touch. It really helped show that they have been together for this long rather than, oh, they're just these static characters. And beyond everything else that you guys have already said about how loving and sweet they've shown her to be, I finally did land on a 10.
Nice. That is great. Just a quick question. What was the Weird Al score again? My apologies.
8 for Weird Al, 5 for
perfect.
Genesis, 10 for Daisei.
I understand.
That makes sense.
All good. So yeah, that is a good score right there. So let's see. Shark, what would your scores be?
I really did enjoy the Weird Al dinosaurs. Like, oh, it's a really good comedic twist on the original Jurassic Park. How they are more, well, not human, but they can think, and they use that intelligence to make gags, like opening doors with the keys rather with the hands, or the whole eating someone and flossing your teeth with that. And of course, there's the dance number 2D nonsense. Like, all right, yeah, this is a good take. I really like this. Maybe a little bit like what Matt said of, oh, well, they want to make many gags with many dinosaurs. One doesn't really get a focus, but it doesn't bother me that much. So I'm going to give them 9 to them.
Nice.
For the second music video, yeah. The big problem with that one is that at points I actually forget there's supposed to be dinosaurs in this video. Like, like a lot of stuff's happening, and like the dinosaurs are I wouldn't be surprised if they show like between 20 and 30 seconds total in the video, and I guess when they do show up, they do a standout, but still, and I don't know, you don't really do much. I'm gonna have to go with a 6 for these ones here.
Nice. Okay.
Now, as for the final one, yeah, it's a really cute character, it's a really cute moment and a cute story and all of that. The details, like again, Matt said, you actually see she's actually getting older with time. It's all cute. She's a really great character and all, but I just cannot really bring myself to giving a 10 over 1. It's a factor I wrote about before. If I give you a 10, I mean I see you on the same level as Charmcaster, as the Wicked Queen, as Sylvia, and all of those other dragons that have gotten 10 out of 10, and it's like, yeah, you're good, but you're not on their level. Like, these other characters have so much going for them, and you do too, but not enough. So I'm gonna have to go with a 9 for the mother dinosaur in this music video.
Still good, but ooh.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah,
No,
the train crashes, but still, it's like, again, you're really good, but there's just many other dinosaurs and dragonesses that did it way better.
Yeah. I understand. Like I say, I understand the way, Yeah, it's all good. Like I say, yeah, you don't have to be obligated to give scores and that. It's all good. So 9 out of 10 still is a really good score, and it's probably going to be one of the highest non-perfect scores that we got. So let's see to finish this off. Stryker, what would yours be?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with most of you with the first two, like an 8 for the Weird Al video, and I think I might go for a 5 for the Genesis video. But as for the Issei, I'd have to watch the video again to get a definitive answer.
Don't worry, I have images right here showing off the mom and everything.
Oh, no, I get you. It's just like I'd have to actually watch the video to actually get a better idea. I remember watching it, but like a lot of people seem to be moved by it, and I'm like, great, I might have to watch it again. I was barely paying attention to it the first time.
Oh my gosh.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So, like, if you had to give her a score, though, what would you give her, basically?
I'd give her a 9 for now.
Yeah,
Okay.
All good. Well, like I say, it's all good. So yeah, like I say, Snarl, not a perfect score, sadly, for Daisei, but she got very, very close, and who knows, maybe the next episode will be enough to get a perfect 10 out of 10. We will have to wait and see. But that's going to be it for this week. If you have any questions, or if you want to send us any other music videos for dragonesses or female dinosaurs in them, you can feel free to email us at fiarydiscourse@outlook.com. Visit us at Twitter at twitter.com/fiarydiscourse. Visit us at Blue Sky at blueskyfiarydiscourse. Be sure to like and subscribe with the YouTube channel and subscribe to the playlist. Hit the bell icon, leave a comment. Any and all comments are appreciated. Also, one of our co-hosts, Lucky Evie, is looking to move to a group home in the UK. That will also be in the description, and any and all help for that is appreciated. Next week, for the next episode of Jurassic July, we are going to finally be doing our episode that ties into the new upcoming, or rather released by this point, Jurassic World Rebirth, when we talk about the 2021 Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous episode, A Beacon of Hope. That'll be really interesting to see that. Yep. The CGI cartoon spin-off of Jurassic Park, which does have an interesting backstory behind it, which we'll definitely get to in the episode and that. But that'll be next week. And yep, all July long, it's going to be all dinosaur-related media. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for it, so can't wait to show you some of the other stuff we got. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and take care.
Laters.
Peace out.
Adios.
Later.
See you all next week.